hidden gems discovery of the valley. We're here at Vergenoegt Wine Estate with Ryan, the hospitality manager. And apparently they were given quite an enormous task to do something really unique. So just tell us a bit about what we're doing here with these test tubes.
So we figured we wanted to try to do something different, right? But we didn't know what that would be, and we were sitting around a table drinking a bottle of wine, and we realized that it was a blend. Nobody told us why they blended it like that or how we got to that. Right. So we came up with this idea of letting people make their own blends, which I think is pretty unique. There's nowhere else that really doing it at the moment.
Yeah, and absolutely. I'm quite excited to do this. Okay, so the process. What happens now? So we've poured a Merlot and a Shiraz and a Cabernet Sauvignon, and that's your base. Is that
correct?
Your base?
Yeah. So it's a pretty straightforward process. We give you 3 of our best straight varietal wines, so Merlot, Shiraz, and Cab Sav. You taste those 3. The end goal is that you want to take a bottle of the wine that you've made home with you.
That's like this one.
That's
here,
that guy over there, right?
Okay.
So you get to put your own name and your own label on. So what we need you to do is to taste the bases first so that you can choose your favorites, which is going to be the biggest part of the wine at the end.
Fantastic. So I can basically make my own bottle, I can make my own blend.
Correct.
And you print it here and...
We print it here and you get to take it home with you. It's really quick and an easy process.
Fantastic. Okay, so straight off the bat we're going to do a quick tasting here of Merlot, Shiraz, Cabernet. Any pointers here on the Merlot that I'm looking at?
So, I mean, the big thing to talk about with Merlot is that the French didn't allow people to make straight varietal Merlot for years and years. But the New World produces us, Argentina, Chile, New Zealand, and Australia. We love it. It's pretty low in tannic. It's got a very low tannic count, easy drinking wine, quite high in the fruit. It's got a little bit of herbaceousness at the end.
Bit of French oak in here?
Very little bit, yeah.
Very little bit. Okay, I really like that. Let me give it a second taste. Yeah, apparently you have to do two sips, right? Every time.
Right.
Yeah, something like that. Okay. And then the Shiraz?
So our Shiraz is defined by the fact that it has a lot of pepper on the end, like all Shirazes, but ours has a very subtle white pepper flavor towards the end. We have a pretty cool climate on the farm that comes from this cool breeze that you guys probably walked into this morning.
Absolutely.
Blew your socks off probably, yeah.
With all the ducks, I think.
Exactly.
Yeah. Excellent. Okay, so that's the Shiraz. I definitely get the peppery. Okay, and the fruitiness in here?
So a little bit of strawberry,
right?
Some blackcurrant coming through.
Okay, so it's going to be a difficult one to select the base, I believe, because they're all quite good reds. I mean, you guys specialize in reds.
We specialize.
Right?
We only grow red at the moment. We are planting some white,
okay.
But the cab is something that we're pretty proud of, right? So we've won a number of awards for it, and you get this just definitive fresh plum flavor that comes about by this cool climate that we have.
Oh yes.
So it's kind of like just biting into a plum, and it's very balanced. So you taste it in the front of your mouth, in the middle, and at the back. Whereas with the Merlot, you taste it mostly in the front, and the Shiraz mostly at the back.
Yeah,
so it's a good building block. A lot of people enjoy the cab as a good base.
Okay, so the fact that I'm kind of swaying towards the Merlot, is that a problem?
Look, I mean, the idea is that it's your personalized blend, right? So you've got to do what you enjoy. So there's no right or wrong answer to it, really.
Okay, I mean, straight off the bat, I do think that I am going to go with the Merlot as the base, but I think coming here and designing your own wine, I think that's the whole thing, right? We can all have our own opinion.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, so now what do we do? Now I've selected a Merlot, which I think for me has more of the fruitiness, which I'm looking for with the base.
Sure.
In my opinion. What do we do now?
So we're going to empty out the glasses.
Okay, sweet. Really? Do I have to empty out the wine?
Into your mouth is also fine.
Okay, but seeing as I'm driving, don't drink and drive. I'll use the spittoon. I'm gonna have to come back here and I'll just not use the spittoon.
Seems fair.
Seems fair, yeah. But seeing as this is, a safety precaution, I have to do that. This all might be cut out of the film.
Yeah. 100.
Okay.
That's basically going to have a sign that's going over with a voice going, sacrilege!
Okay, good.
Very nice. Very nice, good, yeah.
Choose this one. Do you want to catch this, Matt? Just pouring into the...
No.
Choose 25.
That one, yeah, I'd like to catch you doing it into the glass.
Okay, but like just pouring into the wine.
You didn't really end that as a scene. But you guys kind of carried it on.
To do
just wait 1 second.
Do you want me to do you want a small ending piece?
Yeah, you see, remember we were going to cut and then pour and then prep for the next piece. So, but I've got you going now. Now we're going to blend our own. So that's fine. So now prep your blend.
So the blend is prepped.
Yes.
But what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour the base. So you can get me pouring the base.
I can do that, not a problem. But now listen to what I'm saying.
Okay.
You're going to have these two and you're going to have it ready. And you're going to start the next one now going, okay guys, now we're going to start the blending process.
Yes.
Or what do.
Yes.
And then I'm going to catch you now with all of your little test tubes ready. And basically I can put it over here while you're talking there and you're going, we've got this, this and this, and this is what we're going to make our blend out of. And then I'm going to catch you actually blending it into the glass because I only need one scene of that.
Okay.
And I
so
think that
this one here I'm going to use 3 times all in there.
3 times all in there.
Yes. And then those 2 is going to go one there, one there.
Okay, cool.
So
that sounds good.
This is the base.
Okay, cool. And you're going to use the same base for all 3.
That's what you do, yeah.
Can we use more of these?
Yeah.
Use 3.
Yeah, you can.
Basically, have your pouring ratio ready.
And I can say, okay, so the base is Merlot, and it's 25 mils.
Yeah.
And
Because now that takes time. This filling it up to your preferred requirements. So have it all ready, and then we start the blending. Cool. Because that's then the gem.
Yes. So the last scene ended off with. So what a catastrophe! I've just poured out a bunch of wine, but fear not. I've just had a nice mouth cleansing with some bread, and we're now going to pour our bases.
Right.
That's correct. Eh? I've selected the Merlot, and they give you these lovely little test tubes which you pour 25 mils into. For the American folk, I don't know what that means, so please Google it. So this is my 25 Merlot into each of them, which is my base.
It's all about the base. About the base.
All about the base. About the base.
Jeepers.
Man, you should be on camera.
And Merlot.
And
Merlot, yeah.
Okay, so the Merlot is what I selected, and I thought we were going to then blend the Shiraz and the Cabernet, which was the other 2, but you say that we've got something special.
So we took the Merlot, because the Merlot is a special kid, we're going to put Malbec into one of the blends, and we're going to put Cab Franc into the other one.
Okay, so that's these 2 here. And I've got how many? I've got 5 mils.
5 mils, yes.
5 mils each.
So we're going to end up with an 85-15% blend when we're done.
Okay. So I'm going to go Malbec.
Yeah, Malbec in the middle.
Malbec in the middle. Fantastic. And we got the Cab Franc at the end.
Yeah.
Okay. And this is basically what you guys do, but on a really large scale.
Correct. Yeah, correct. And so, I mean, the winemaker, this is what she spends her life doing every day, but in, instead of 25 mils, 250,000 liters.
Okay. And she does that with small test tubes like this, right?
To a degree, a little bit more. It's a little bit more scientific than this. I think a lot of it's by weight, and there's a continual tasting and testing process that happens.
Okay, so you add a little bit and taste, and add a little bit more. And Okay.
And it's also about blending the same thing from different barrels altogether. So there's a couple of different blending processes. This is a pretty simplified, easy, get it in, get it out, enjoy your day kind of process.
Okay, so I use the base now to just understand a little bit about the actual base itself, without any blend.
Then we're going to taste, because now we've cleared your palate and put some bread in, so we need to start your palate again at the base, and then we're going to taste blend varietal 1. When you swirl it, just give it a good extra 5 swirls for me to make sure we got that blended nicely. There we go.
Fantastic. Alright. See, so it's definitely a different color. Immediately, right?
So the Malbec itself as a varietal is pretty sweet, quite fruity, very open, so it makes the wine almost like we always describe it as a wine you can drink on a picnic blanket, right? So there's almost no tannin in it now. You've got big amounts of floral flavors, a little bit of sweetness, and the herbaceousness and the original fruit is not gone anywhere. It's just kind of kicked into overdrive now.
Absolutely, yeah. Because I mean, the Merlot for me is generally a bit fruity, but that's just my opinion. I might have a strange palate. But the Malbec definitely now brings out more fruit. I can feel it. And because it's only, so what's the percentage now? If I put 5 into 25, I've got how much again?
85 of the base and 15 of your...
And in South Africa, you have to declare if you blend if it's above 15, right?
Correct.
So that's why we're starting there with the 15.
Correct, yeah. Okay. So you could go into 2 wine farms right next to each other and they both do a straight varietal Merlot. And they're on opposite ends of the scale and you can't figure out why because they're right next door. It's because the guys are blending in, and it doesn't have to be just 15%, it could be 5, 5, 5, and then 85.
And you wouldn't even know.
And you wouldn't even know because they don't have to declare it, yeah.
And over here you can actually come and taste those little nuances. Those little differences.
Absolutely.
Fantastic. So now we've got the Cab Franc, which I'm also trying to give an extra swirl. And it is, right? No,
Yeah,
it's the
Cab
Malbec.
Franc.
Oh, it's the Cab Franc. Sorry, yes, it is the Cab. We just done a Malbec. All this tasting. So Cab Franc, what's that going to add to the blend for me?
So it's going to do almost the opposite of what the Malbec did, right? So the Malbec opened it up, it made it lighter, it made it more full, made it more like summery. But this, Cab Franc is defined by like deep inky flavors, so like tobacco, heavy wooded flavors,
smokiness,
licorice, those kinds of things. So this just now turns it almost back into that wintry, sit by a fireplace with a wet dog and a cigar kind of wine, right? So it's definitely, it almost makes it like the male and female of the two. They're kind of an opposite. The one's more grumpy and slower to anger, whereas the other one's kind of all over the show, which I quite. So it's very interesting to see what people like, and there's no like kind of right or wrong to it, and it's not like women or men generally prefer either one of the two. It's a total personality and a palate kind of thing.
So it sounds to me a little bit like I can take the Merlot and I can go for a lunch, and then I can take my lady friend out to a picnic because I'm going to add a little bit of Malbec to it and bring some fruitiness out into like a picnic, and then afterwards I can go and sit with her by the fireplace and have the Cab Franc. So essentially, I'm not going to make one bottle. I can make 3s, right?
Yeah,
and I mean, put my name on all 3.
If we get to a point where you don't want to do YouTube videos anymore, you just come and work here, right? Blend wine all day. Blend wine.
That's fantastic.
Cool.
Okay, so I actually think I'm gonna go with both of these blends. I can't really choose the difference or the nice or my favorite because it's actually got 2 different types of characters. So I think I'm definitely going to choose both of them. For the picnic and the fireplace.
Awesome. So the deal is now we have a little sheet you're going to fill out for me, and then we're going to create your own little bottle for you with your name and your label on.
Alright, so thanks very much, Ryan. This was a fantastic blending experience. I do look forward to coming back and making some more of my own blends here, and just making my own bottles.
Thanks, man. And when you come back, maybe you can do like some of your own blending, and then you can taste some of our wines that we blend ourselves.
Okay.
I don't want to say we're experts, but we're experts.
Yeah, and this is your blend.
This is our blend, yeah.
Okay, fantastic.
Cool.
Cheers, awesome. And see you guys in the next episode.